Hello everyone, good evening to you all. I know it's been quite some time since I've done a journal with me, so let's just get into this as quickly as possible. But I do want to show you a little bit of some of the things that I was working on. So hold on. I was actually working on several different things these past few weeks, and honestly, I can't remember everything that I was working on. Let me see if you can, okay. I can't remember everything that I was working on. I did a lot of paper crafting, you know, making tags and things of that nature. And let me see if I can pull out some stuff. And I did not film any of it, but I will just do a quick flip through of some things. I think it was this book. Let's see, can you see? All right, yeah. I put this little tag in here, but I need to do something. I need to put something on it, you know. Let me see, what can I put on it that would, let's try. I had some extra. All right, so we can put that on there. And then I can take a sticker and put something maybe like this little girl. I could put something like that on there. Let's see here. I have a bunch of stuff, but let's just put this on here. And I'm just thinking, okay, that one broke. All right. These, sometimes they don't stick like they should. Yeah, see that? Doesn't stick like it should. It might just be because for the paper. But, okay, no problem. No problem. But now this one's stuck. Okay, let's try again. All right, that one's stuck. And let's put one right there. Okay, so that one's stuck. Well, we got one more. So let's just, it doesn't have to be any place perfect or nothing like that. So that takes care of that. I can't believe the light went out. Oh, okay. So I can't. So I was thinking what I would do is I could put a quote here, or I could also put some more, you know, just something. Let me get my, I'm gonna just put, you know what I'm going to write. Y'all know that. I was going to put Jesus joy. I've been saying that a lot lately. Jesus joy. But that's just, you know, it's just nothing fancy. I mean, it's nothing, you know, super duper duper. It's just therapy, and I just want to use this to write a prayer. And I would probably start out with something like, Father God, in the name of Jesus. And then let's see, let's take and just make me my little bubbles that I always like to do so much. And then right down here would be my prayer, you know, so I'm gonna just go, I'm just gonna make me a box. I've just been in the mood for paper crafting, and that is not like me. That is not like me at all, because I'm mostly a sticker person. You know, when it comes to the paper crafting and the cutting and the measuring and all that kind of stuff, I don't really get into that. But then I have stuff, you know, I have options. And that's what I like that's so great about it, is even though it may not be your forte, if you think that you might be interested in doing it from time to time, especially if you watch scrapbooking and crafting channels like Posh Paper Lady or Scrapbooking with Me, you might have that urge come over you to just do something, you know, more paper crafty. So I had a lot of, I don't want to say stress, but I had a lot of emotional things that were happening these past 2 weeks. It's been one thing after the other every single day. Not necessarily anything that was like bad or evil or anything of that nature, but it was just things that were just tiring and stressful. And I just want to put prayer, like prayer tab. And you know, it's just one of those things, you know, where you're on the mountaintop, but then, you know, you just it's like God is just showing you there's a lot that you need to deal with that is unresolved, you know. And that's really what it was. Unresolved things that I thought were resolved. And it wasn't. It was things that needed to be brought to my attention, so to speak. And so that was what the deal was. It was like, here's some things that are going on that you need to deal with. And whoa, was he serious when he when he brought those things to my attention. And like I said, this has been going on for 2 weeks, and it's something different every day. Every day it has been something different. And it's like, you know, when something spiritual is happening, like, you know, when Jesus is working with you. He brought closure on a lot of things, and I'm grateful for that closure. So I can move forward. So what did I do? Okay, so here we go. I had gotten rid of some papers. I was like, I didn't want the keto journal anymore, and I felt like it was just not doing me any good. It wasn't what I wanted. Let's see. Okay, so I just put these little girl stickers. I had girl stickers that I just wanted to use, and I did that. So I just put some of those things on there. I think I like that one a lot, right there. I didn't like this little box, because this box is cartoony, and none of this is cartoony. But, you know, I'll just put joy. Whatever. I hate when I mess things up like that, but I just put that on there. So it was just adding just some stuff. And then what I did was, I did not like I didn't want to trash this. So what I did was, I where is, let me find me, let me see, where is, I used up all of the washi that I wanted to use for this, and the other one got accidentally thrown away. So I'm gonna have another Hobby Lobby order, but I'm not gonna film it. It's just washi. It's just washi tape and some journals. And I'm like, I don't want to bore you guys with that. It's like nothing new. It's just a restock, rebuy, repurchase. It's nothing that you guys would probably be interested in. This is not on here, right? Let's see that. I need to trim that. So, with that being said, I just said, you know what, I don't want this book from Happy Planner anymore. It's, you know, it was a thing I purchased, you know, because it was on sale and it worked. It did its job for a while, but I was like evolving out of it. And I said, well, I don't want to trash it and I don't want to donate it. I want to use it. And I figured, why don't I take the questions that I like the most and just use them? And you know what I mean? Just use them. So that's what this is for. So when I'm journaling, I can just look and say, hey, this week's progress. You know, 5 things I'm proud of this week. What can I give up or say no to and let go of? So I figured I would just put that in, just tip it in there like that. Same thing here, this week's progress, you know, and I put the little girl, and then we have another one right here. Let me just make sure that you guys can see. Thank God. All right, so that was what I did, and I don't even know if I showed you guys this or not, but I got a lot of work I want to do, because I added this purple in here and there's nothing else purple here. I'm gonna have to add something so that this purple doesn't clash. I wanted to add some color, but purple probably wasn't the best idea. So I put this on, and I just went to town, y'all, to be honest with you. I just went to town, you know, because when I do this, sometimes it's not about perfection. It's just about therapy. It's just about getting whatever is inside of me out. I put that in there. I put those cats there, so that I've already created what the theme is going to be, because I've got a lot of cat washi tape and stuff like that that I want to use. So yeah, so it's been a lot going on, and I just feel, you know what I'm going to tell you? This is what I want to say. I feel like there's closure going on in my life. I feel like doors that were once open are now closed because there's no need for me to be doing it anymore. And when that happens, it makes me feel like I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die soon. You know, it's like there's a closure, you know, and things that I used to do, I don't have to do anymore. One being a good example is I'm not going to be feeding the birds or the squirrels anymore, at least not in the summertime. So I dumped the whole bag of, and I mean a big grocery bag full of squirrel food, you know, the peanuts and stuff. And I dumped a whole loaf of bread into the shrubbery. And I'm not going to be doing that anymore until the winter when it's cold. And also, it's against our bylaws to be feeding the birds and all that stuff. I got special permission to feed the cats because it was I put in a designated area. I was on the board, blah, blah, blah. But other people are now feeding the birds, and they're getting bird feeders, and the bird feeders is causing poop and bird seed to drop down into the other person's patio. And I know who's doing it, and I know who's affected by it. I just toss out bread into the shrubbery, and the birds see it and they eat it. But then I found out also that my neighbors would prefer that I didn't, because every time they walk their dog tries to eat the bird bread, and their dog even tried to eat the tuna. And if she eats that tuna, she can get diarrhea. And I love my neighbor's dog, and I love my neighbors that live below me, and I'll do whatever I can for them, because they are absolutely the best neighbors that you could have. And they are so funny, especially after they did their little hookah thing. They are hilarious. It's like, oh my gosh. It's just, I love seeing them. Isn't it something, y'all, how people can be so extra pleasant when they're a little influenced? Oh, well. So I just said, you know what, this is a time for me to stop. This is the time to let this go. But now other people, they see you do it and it's okay, then they go and they do it, you know, and then they don't do it with your finesse, and then, you know, things can go wrong. So I made this, which you guys saw, and I just put that in there like that. This was me just venting out stuff. So I put that there, just making use of those pages. I love those swans. So it's nothing, you know, and here's me using my, let's see, these, I have just a few more of these from Planners Anonymous. These are stickers. Isn't this gorgeous? I love it. Absolutely love it. And so I had a lot. Look at all that's left, just this little bit. So I have been paper crafting and making these tabs, these tags with the tabs on them. Yeah. And using them for journaling on the back, which I shared with you guys before. So I was working on that, and let's see what else. I made some hearts for journaling from scrapbook paper that I knew I wasn't going to want anymore. And then I just made, I love that. Just imagine if we had that from Planners Anonymous. That's a beautiful, beautiful melody. And then this came from what's that lady, Black Mountain Plans, my sweet friend May Tipton. This was back when she did Fruit of the Spirit, so I just put that on there. And like I said, there was no rhyme or reason. I just needed to get these things done, and I just needed to get that, you know, like some people may smoke or drink. I pray and journal. So, you know, and not always just journaling, but just getting the stickers on the page is therapy. I just need to get these stickers on the page. I need to go through my stash. I need to find what I have been hoarding, and I need to use it, clean it out, rearrange, reorganize, and then take this pile, put it in my project box, and then bam, grab a book and just start throwing stuff down. And that's what I did, because I was just so emotionally tired. All right, and so that's what I'm talking about, you know. Let me just make sure that you guys, that this is charging. I hope so. I can't tell. All right, I may have to. Okay, it's charging. All right, good. All right. Whew. So, y'all, I always have to clip my hair because my hair will get in my face and get in my mouth. Oh, that drives me freaking batty. All right, so we did this. I did that. So I got a lot of work I want to do on this, but this, I'm just laying down that foundation. You know, this one didn't do much or nothing. So this I really liked. You know, so that was what I was working on, and just laying down washi, getting some foundations started. And what is this? Oh, that's weird. You know what? I don't like this. I don't like this at all. This is on backwards. See, this right here, this you can tell, okay, she's not paying attention to what she's doing. She's going through something right now, and she's not paying attention. That's what I see here. You know. And so that happens. That's just one of those things. That's why I love doing what I do, because even though it may not look perfect and it's all of these things, it is therapy. And that is the big part. That is the part that, you know, and so I was thinking, like, what if I did that? But I'm not going to do that with you guys watching, because that would just take up so much time. And I was thinking, instead of doing every one, I could do every other one, or do a partial, you know, but that's what's been going on. And it's been making me wonder about things and blah, 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 blah. And then there was moments of missing Gappy, where we found something that she had left us. And then there's the keto lifestyle that I have, journey that I've been on. We are approaching my 3-month, what do you call it, anniversary, or or whatever. My challenge will be over in the end of July. And it's like, well, Pam, what are you going to do? Are you going to continue this keto lifestyle? Are you going to take a break from it and just enjoy some pastas and, you know, and things of that nature? What are you going to do now that you are approaching that your challenge is almost over? You know, you were challenged to do 3 months of keto. Are you going to continue this? You know, do you want do you want to go back to French fries? You know, are you willing to, you know, whatever. So I have a lot of thinking to do. I have a lot of ideas. And so this, I put this on. I don't know if you guys remember or not. I did some stuff in here and I don't remember. See here, see how I started this, and I need to color this in. You know how I do, like that, just all through. And these were from Amy Plans things, and I printed it out on sticker paper. And these were just things that were I was just hoarding. And now my stationary luggage looks like it should look. It looks normal. It doesn't look overstuffed. I used everything that meant a lot to me, and I mean, that didn't mean as much to me, and I took all my favorites and hoarded my favorites. I just redid everything. You know, it's therapy for me. You know, keeping everything perfect, I guess you could say. So that was good therapy. So I put this here. I got everything that I could find that I had on, you guys, on some, what do you call it, sunflowers and Bible scriptures. And I just don't remember if I shared this with you guys or not. It has been a while, but I was working out of 3 different books. Okay, this right here, I have ruined this. You see that? This actually needs to come up. All right, we don't want that to come up. All right, so how about we turn this around and I had no idea. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Let's see here. Wow. This bent. I had no idea. All right. Okay. So yeah, so that's what's been going on. I guess I'm just growing, you know. So that kind of looks kind of crappy to me. It really does, y'all. But it's gonna stay there for now. It's just gonna stay there. So that is what has been going on. And then I had dropped like 4 pounds in 1 week. You guys have heard me talk about that before. And I was told by my dietitian that do not expect to lose anymore for a while. Y'all want some? Now, I don't know if that's good advice or not. I'm just telling you what I was told. They were like, you're probably not going to lose anything the next 2 weeks. Because your body needs to recalibrate. And that if you don't see anything on the scale, I want you to start focusing on just a little bit more, focusing on non-scale victories, because it will mess with your mind, because it's just what happens with us when we try to lose weight or we try to have these things happen. And so I was like, okay, I'm prepared to see no weight loss for like the next 2 months. I mean, 2 months, the next 2, maybe 3 weeks. So it has been 2 weeks. And I have not seen anything. It's still staying the same. So I put these in. So maybe one day we'll decorate these together. We'll add a little bit more to it, because I've got some great ideas. I'm really disappointed in how this turned out. Let's see here. So I'm just going to keep moving forward, because what else am I going to do? I can't go back. I can't go to the side, right? So seriously, I got to keep moving forward. That's not even an option. Nah, we're done. I have to keep moving forward. So I don't say that I'm stalled, because I had that huge jump. If you're going to lose 4 pounds in 1 week, you can best believe that 9 times out of 10, you might not get nothing for another week or 2. So I don't think of myself as someone who is stalled, but I do feel like, you know, this is just a recalibration. So I need to make goals. It has been incredibly hot. No tea tonight, y'all. Water with lemon and lime and tons of ice. But I did have in here my probiotic drink. So let us go to, let me just check and see. Okay. let's go to, all right, where did we leave off at the last time? So we're done with June. I don't even know. Yeah, this is the last week of June. So we have one full week and then a couple, 2 days. So June is not quite done yet, but I did, and I don't know if I shared this with you guys. If I did, I apologize for the redundancy, but I just put on here taking care of myself, doing things for me, showing up for myself from the inside out as an individual and not as a title. Okay, so you guys can see that. I talked about hibernation season and longing for winter, engaging in new pathways, doing things differently, you know, for the summer so that I can still be stimulated. Here, I don't think I shared this with you guys. I was getting rid of cat stickers. Because I am no longer a cat mother, so I just said, let me use these. Let me use these. So this is for my final 2 weeks of the month of June, and it's a try harder to lose 2 pounds. My goal is to lose 2 pounds by the end of July. I mean, by the end of June, excuse me. So that is my goal. And it says, I miss my cats. I miss everything about them. I've had to stop feeding the animals. What does this says? Dumped of the last of everything. I don't know what that is. Doesn't matter. But everything is good. Nothing is negative or bad or nothing. Chin up, follow the plan. I'm hoping that I can hit 185.5 at least by the end of the month. I need to stay focused and grounded in Jesus, and I'm so grateful that I didn't gain any weight. He has kept me, and I praise him totally, and I plead his blood over my weight loss journey. So that is what my thoughts are for that last week and this week and for next week. So that's it for June. Now here is July. July is my deal breaker because at the end of July, we're going to get blood work done. And then there's doctor's appointments that I have to schedule to follow up on the phone. And then there's also in August, I don't even know if I wrote it down yet. Nope, I didn't. In August, I have doctor's appointments with a new doctor that I need to go see. And so things are looking good. They're looking really good. They're looking excellent, as a matter of fact. So 3-month challenge is going to end on the 31st of July. And we have the blood work done that has to be done. But there is also, I also have something else that needs to be done. I have to get my CRT scan for my heart, and I didn't have that on there, so I have to get my CRT scan for my heart, and I have to get blood work done all on the last Thursday of July, which is fine, and it will probably be a scorcher that day, especially in the afternoon. Oh my gosh. Oh man, and by the time I get home, it will probably be 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't know, probably not, but the parking lot may be crowded by then. I might end up losing my spot because it may just be really crowded. But then again, it may not. That's what I chose to do. I'm not gonna go early in the morning. I need to get sleep, and I need to, you know, have a really easy, I need to be able to fast a lot easier. All right, so, let's see here. So this is what we are working on. This is notes, goals for July. And okay, so you guys can see that. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to do this in pencil because my goals may change. And as you guys can see, I have already erased some things. So we're going to do this together, and then I'm going to go ahead and close out. So my goals for July is I need to brainstorm continuing the keto lifestyle. And you may say, if this is working for me, why do I need to brainstorm? I have a doctor that wants me to do the Mediterranean. He feels that that is more suitable for me. I, on the other hand, disagree for a plethora of reasons. But I said that I would consider it. I said I would think about it, and we would discuss it when we have our next meeting, when we have our next appointment. So I'm going to hold true to my word, and I will do some brainstorming, and I will do some research on that. But to be honest with you, 9 times out of 10, like 9.9 out of 10, I'm probably going to say to him, I want to keep continuing with the keto lifestyle, you know. And to be honest, if I can find a way to even go stricter, I would like to do that, you know. But this is what I said I would do, and I want to be a person of my word. So I said I would do it, and I will do it. Another thing that I want to do for July is I want to prepare myself for a new phase in my wellness journey. Okay, and then the next thing that I want, I'll go over those details with you guys in another video, but there's a lot of things that I am pursuing or considering to pursue in a wellness journey, wellness overall, what things I'm subtracting and things that I'm adding to my lifestyle, you know, like things that, like, I'll give you an example. Like for breakfast, you know, on a typical day would be eggs and avocado and bacon, and some pork rinds. Let's see. Then for lunch would be probably a Atkins bar, or either tuna salad or chicken salad on a either the keto bread, but most probably it's going to be on my zero net carb tortillas with some pickles and some homemade coleslaw. Let's see, the side of pork rinds with cheddar cheese seasoning on it. It's powdered cheddar cheese that's organic and it's totally keto friendly. Let's see, I have been tweaking things where, you know, like watering down my juices, my zero sugar juices, icing down, putting ice on everything, you know, just for the sake of lessening the amount of toxins. And also I want to consider some different type of exercise routines. I want to join the YMCA or the aquatic center. I really want to take classes in swimming. I want to learn how to swim, and I love water aerobics, and I really want to get into that. But it's something that I would do in the fall, not in the summer when it's 100 degrees outside. So that is like an example of something, preparing myself for a new phase in my wellness journey. Am I willing to, you know, go to the aquatic center? Am I ready to put on a swimsuit? Preparing my mind, what could happen, you know, at the aquatic center? You know, are you going to want to build relationships with people? Are you just going to go there and work out and just leave? You know, Are you going to invest in anything else? So it's just a bunch of things that I have been considering on what I want to do mentally, physically, and emotionally coming this fall. The other thing that I'm considering in July also is I have new doctors lined up for August, and I was just brainstorming some things about my new doctors, which I'm really excited about. So all of that would be preparing myself for this new phase of my wellness. The other thing is, you know, what I want to do is consider a bird. And it's considering a new pet. And it would be a bird, a rat. Yes, a rat. I had some conversations with some people, and they were saying for someone like you, a rat would be a better pet for you. And they gave me all the reasons why. You know, it's hard to find a rat at a pet store, but that was what multiple people, professionals in that field, said a rat would be the best thing for me. The other thing I want to consider is a rabbit. I've had rabbits so many times in my life. I had a bird before, and these would be the three options that I would have, that I would think of. The bird would probably be the last that I would get. The rabbit would probably be the first. So I'm going to put a little thing right here, because the rabbit I'm familiar with. You know, I've had rabbits before, so it's just a matter of whether or not they have pica or pica, however you want to call it. But those are just some things that I was considering for the month of July. And then here we go with one fine day. This is like my phrase or my mantra. I don't know what you want to call it, but one fine day. This came to me in a situation where somebody was doing something that they should not have been doing, and they did not get caught. And I said, one fine day. It just came out of my mouth. One fine day, this person is going to reap what they have sowed. They are going to pay the Pied Piper. And, you know, one fine day was what I said. You know, today is not that day, but one fine day, this is going to come to an end, some kind of way or another. And I decided, hey, why not apply this to yourself? One fine day, all of your dreams are going to come true. All of your joys are going to, all the things that you take joy in are going to flourish. And you can take this spiritually, you can take this physically. You know, like one fine day, I'm going to reach my weight loss goals. One fine day, Gary is going to retire and we're going to live on the beach or whatever. One fine day, the things that we really want are going to take place. One fine day. One fine day also can mean when I take my last breath and I meet my Savior, I meet my King face to face, and I can finally hug him and hold him the way that I so desperately need to do. And I can see Gappy and Andy and Slabby and Happy and Hallie and Skippy and Blackie and Whitey and Annie and all, you know, just all, and Manga and Trey, Nyx, just, you know, everybody, Reese, oh my Lord, Reese. So there's like so much I have to look forward to one fine day. And so that's what that is. You know, I absolutely love it. I love this. I want to stick with this one fine day. Yeah, I really like that. So that is it, y'all, for my little plan with me, sorting out things through my head and whatnot. Sorry I didn't have anything really super duper great to look at as far as decorating, but these were my two A5s that I decorated with the past couple of weeks. I also decorated in my B5, and I also did some decorating in my what do you call it, clipboard notebook that I shared with you guys that I did not share again. So, you know, I'm just doing some stuff, nothing fancy, nothing that would impress you guys. You know, I'm just sharing. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less, just sharing. So on that note, you all have a wonderful, blessed day, and God willing, I will see you in the next video. Bye.